And how'd you find out you weren't tossed?
Excuse me?
How'd you find out you weren't ejected?
When I walked out, I was going to get changed, and they said, "You're not out." And I go, "What?" They said the first one was a bench. I said, "Oh, great." And I went back in.
It seemed like you might have wanted to get checked, no?
I don't ever want to get, but, you know, you're not just, you know, you're making a statement about, anyway. But I thought I was gone, wasn't happy about it either, at that much time.
You think that helped though? Just that, the energy seemed to change after that.
No, it would have helped if I didn't come back. We may have won by more. Me coming back made it a close game. But look, this was a tough environment. The way they played, you have to give them credit. Now, I know you're looking like, oh, we had an 8-point lead and lost. We just had one against Tennessee and lost at home. So this stuff has happened 20, 25 times this season. It's crazy. I can't explain it. Don't ask me what happened. I know at halftime I said, "Nick, you are so bad right now. If you play, they're only going to remember the second half, and I'm coming at you. We're not going away from you. So you could either be the player you've been all year or look like this." Said the same thing to EJ. Our defense, Johnny and Dante, Keon in the first half, I said, "You two gave up 25 points. I cannot play you unless you're guarding." Second half, they guarded and rebounded, did a better job, and played a big part in us winning. Both of those two. Nate, huge today, making shots, second shots, he defended. We need those three for us to do something. I was really disappointed. I said the biggest play of the game that helped us win was Emmanuel fouling out. Why would he grab an arm with 4 fouls? Why did you do that? If you wanted to come out of the game, tell me. He said, "I didn't want to come out." You know I didn't want to come out, but he comes out and all of a sudden we're playing a bunch of young guys and they played pretty good.
What does that say about your team, that no Ashton, down 18 and do it?
It's, you know, like I told him at halftime, this is like being in the NCAA tournament. You don't play well, the other team plays well. Nick's 1 for 8, looks so bad, he doesn't look like he's on the floor. Should we go to the bus and surrender? Or do you guys want to fight? It's the only 2 options. And, you know, they looked at each other, and I thought Tyrese at times was not ready to have the ball in his hands, and then other times he looked like, wow. And that's why when you ask me, when he's going, you got the ball in his hand. When he's not running people over, missing shots, just throwing balls at the rim, you can't do it. The last play of the game, biggest play of the game, I went at Keon. And then you look and say, he's only averaging 5 points. Why would you have him make the game-winning play? Because he was playing good. He was the one that had something going. That's what this team is. Whoever has it going, we go to them.
Cal, how much does this change the way your team is able to feel about itself going into the postseason versus if you just let go and lost another one? You know, you blow a big lead and then get blown out. That would change maybe the self feeling about yourself.
It didn't happen, so I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. You changed. It seems like you changed the way these guys can feel about themselves.
They were pouring water on each other, and you know, this game gave us a higher seed in our conference tournament. It didn't, and they're pouring water on each other in there. So they love to win, but we've been in so many close games. It's incredible. I can't tell you. Every game with 2 minutes to go is anybody's ball game, and so you know. When we lose, it's total silence.
Is it good now to have that excessive amount of experience in close games, or is there a wearing effect where it didn't seem like it today, obviously, but what do you think about that?
Some of it is the ball bounces right, and you get a call, or they don't get a call, and so you're like dodging bullets. So I would say try to win by 20 is probably a better solution than having every game. And we've been up how many times up 15 and the game ends up a 4-point game this year? 15? Maybe? Like what just happened? And then the Tennessee game, a couple fumbled rebounds, a couple 1-footers missed. They make threes from guys who normally don't shoot them, and you lose. And that's what happened. And you know, what a good game for Tennessee. And this team, look, they're an NCAA tournament team, and my guess, it's a team that will advance. They're a team that will advance. And, you know, for us, we got a couple days off now. They got the rest of today off. They have tomorrow off, and Monday will be massages and individuals, so they got a few days off. And hopefully, you know, we're in a great frame of mind going in this tournament. Tournament's going to be crazy. I looked at who could be 8 and 9. Like, who could be 8 and 9? Like, both beat us. You're like, what the heck? So it's nutty.
Have you ever seen anything like that? I was going to just ask you just now.
Yeah,
Just
here,
the game the
can
other
I
day,
tell
the
you what
game-
bothers me? What bothers me? In other leagues, what do they call it? Parity. Oh my gosh. Road wins in this league are ridiculous. I mean, and I'm hearing all this in our league. Go play Mississippi State. Go have fun. How about go play Texas A&M and the job Buzz is doing? You still have Auburn. You still have LSU. You have 4. I mean, we should be getting 6 and 7 teams in, and they're looking at these numbers where we would win on the road and our net score would go higher. Like, whoa. This team loses 3 or 4 and their net score stays the same. How does that work? How does our league, which every time we get a bunch of teams in the tournament, what happens to those teams? What do? They win. They win every time. How about the leagues that put 7 teams in and they go 1 and 6? That ain't our league. This league, top to bottom. How about, I didn't know Vanderbilt won. I said, who'd they beat? And then we're back. Alabama on the road. Who beat South Carolina? Who beat us? They beat Alabama at Alabama. Do you understand Vanderbilt had us down twice at half, both games? I think one was 6 and one may have been 9 at half. So Missouri, Conzo's doing his team is so much better. You know, what he's doing at Arkansas, he had his best player out. So he lost 5 in a row. Yeah, if we had our best player out, we'd lose 5 in a row in this league.
Speaking of, is Ashton going to be back for the SEC tournament?
I would fully expect him to be, but I haven't talked to him. So I'll probably talk to him Monday sometime.
You mentioned Florida being able to advance after facing them twice. What are your thoughts?
Who's that?
Florida.
No, we don't want to play Florida. No. And if we play them, let's be in the finals. Let's not play before that.
Vandy beat South Carolina.
What's that?
Vandy just beat South Carolina.
South Carolina.
I mean, but that means that South Carolina's awful. They beat us. I mean, it makes me angry that, you know, all I can tell you is you have to look at teams and watch them play. And you can't say, well, this is a great win, all that on the road when they lost by 22, but that's a tough place to play. You ever play in these arenas? I mean, and I know it's hard, and I got one of the committee members in the back of the room, so he's happy with me right now, and the other's father, the son coaches this team. He's the chairman of the committee. But I keep coming back to give this league credit, and part of it should be when teams in this league get in that tournament, they win. That means you're picking the right teams. So South Carolina lost to Vandy.
Yeah. John, how much of what you were able to do in the paint in the second half was partly because of Blackshear's absence?
A big part of it, but Nick played better. I mean, they were still bumping him and moving. He faded on every shot. He closed his eyes on 2. He was 1 for 7 at halftime from 1 foot. Have you ever tried shooting and closing your eyes? I mean, and then in the second half, he, you know,
One more,
got
guys.
on his neck and played well.
What was Ashton's, why did he need to sit out, rest, or whatever it is?
His personal, he just, you know, he came up and said him in a bad way. You know, here's what I tell you about these kids. In the last 3 years, this has totally changed. What is on these players, and I tell my team all the time how much I respect what they go through. The clutter that they got to deal with, the lists, what's out there, not being able to stay in the moment, the anxiety of worrying a year from now, everyone around them. And then you're at Kentucky where every game is someone's Super Bowl. Every game is sold out. And now all of a sudden you start struggling 4 or 5 games and now you don't really know how to deal with stuff. I mean, it's, these kids, what they do. My first responsibility is the health and well-being of my players. And when a guy tells me, Coach, I gotta step away, I'm with it. Tell me why, tell me what you're thinking, what is it? Bang, I'm good. I'll see you when we get back. And hopefully what you'll see is an inspired young man. And if he doesn't think he's ready for that, then he's not ready. I mean, we're gonna go with whoever we have. Thank you.